one.
EA Sports. It's in the game. We
Son,
can't get sued for that, right?
What was, remember the EA Sports big one for the NFL and NBA?
EA
teams?
Sports, big.
Son,
That was my favorite one.
I
those
bet.
were the games.
Remember when EA was good? You
Son,
can't get sued for
right.
that, right?
Oh, Maurice, I don't have the DLC downloaded. It won't let me do it.
Remember
Wait,
when
what?
EA was good?
I do remember
There
when
we
EA
go.
was good.
Oh, let me see. Brings me up to a Steam thing. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can finesse this.
You okay, Jared?
I'm trying
He's
to
on
finesse.
okay.
Okay, son. Anyway, guys, if you're listening, welcome to the IMO Podcast. We are back at it like some fiends right now. Quick disclaimer, we all took a quick break because, sometimes you got to reset the gears and whatnot. And Jared just said, fuck us. I'm
Gears of War.
Sorry,
Which
you
brings
take
me, which is a perfect segue for... no, we gotta introduce ourselves. But anyway, IMO Podcast, we're back once again, about to give you guys the latest and the greatest news and everything as far as pop culture, geekness.
Mm-hmm.
Pop culture.
Only the news isn't so late because it's pretty recent and it isn't that great because everyone else is talking about it.
Basically,
Right.
so we're gonna do what the rest of the entire internet is doing right now. Only here on the IMO Podcast, where you're gonna get these juicy details about shit that you already know about.
Sure. Yeah, I like that one. That was good. That was good. Can we patent that?
I wanted to be politically correct because we're not adding fucking nothing to the conversation here that has already been said.
Oh, yeah, true. Maybe.
Maybe.
The
The one with? Okay, what's up with this title?
Oh, shit.
No, I like it. Leave it.
The one with. By the way,
we can't start over, can we?
I don't know. I'm going to add to it, though, so anyone else who comes in after will have a title.
So, Maurice, you're gonna have to start it. I can't start it.
You're going to die.
Download it. Please don't.
Damn.
Just go down. Just go download it.
Anyway,
download
guys,
it.
for all of our new people who has no idea what we do and who we are, my name is Andre. I'm usually the host most of the time. When I say most of the time, a good chunk of these shows you're going to be hearing my voice primarily. The
Okay.
one with yeah. Shut up, Steven. We're working on it. All right.
The one with the one. Yeah. That's it. That's it, though.
That's got to be it. I already said the IMO Podcast. I'm joined by my other co-host. We call Maurice. Maurice, what's going on, man?
Hello, I'm Maurice. Called Maurice.
Yeah, call him Maurice because that's what we call him, and that is also his social
Mm-hmm. At the
security
Maurice.
number. At the Maurice. Also joined by Jarrett.
What up, pimp? How you doing?
You left us.
Son, I'm sorry. I had to get away from my job.
It was so last minute too. You just said fuck y'all and then left.
Right.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. I forgot I was actually going on this vacation. And I was like, oh shit, I'm actually leaving. Fuck, I forgot to tell these people this. They probably gonna hate me.
The one with.
I
the
did
one
hate you.
on it.
I came back.
If you
Sorry,
had put E3 in the fucking title.
They
What?
won't even let me play it. Are you going solo, Maurice? They won't let me play it.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, well.
For everybody who doesn't know, we've actually, because I would imagine if you're watching this video afterwards, you have changed this title at least 3 times by now.
No, 2.
So I have at least twice by now.
Just 2.
You gotta put E3 in it, man.
What?
You gotta...
I did. I did.
I see the one with the one Keanu.
Okay, Keanu wasn't E3.
Look, man.
I'm sorry. I thought we looked at the same fucking E3. My bad. What was you looking at?
If you're listening and you don't know what we usually do, this is pretty much our flow right here. This is how we do things. We usually bullshit and then we
say rigmarole.
I don't want to right now.
Rude fuck.
How am I rude?
You know how.
Oh, come on.
You didn't say it. You gotta say it. You say it once a show.
rigmarole?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was it. All right, now we continue the show.
Rigmarole here, guys. So, if you haven't noticed, this little thing called E3 is happening right now. We're gonna talk about all the shit about it. We don't even have an agenda like we usually do. We're about to go off the dome, off the top.
Freestyling. Funk flex.
freestyling in the vocal booth. I was listening to Kamikaze this last weekend, and Eminem was just
Joe
it was
Button
one-
has no replay value. All right, Joe. Okay, so you hating, dog? That's cool.
there was this one part at the end of one of the songs where you just said, and now I'm just freestyling in the vocal booth, and it rhymes with absolutely nothing. I'm like, okay, son. Eminem's a god. But anyway, you're not here to hear about Eminem. You're here to hear about what we think, in our opinion, of the E3 podcast. So, I don't want to explain E3 because I assume we all know what E3 is, right? Right? I ain't got to explain that, right?
I watched it. I know what it is. It's Keanu. What else is there?
I was talking about for all the niggas who, for whatever reason, clicked on this video.
They know it's Keanu. They saw the name when they walked in. They know why they're here.
They said, "Oh, Keanu Reeves, gotta watch that video." I'm a simple man. I see Keanu Reeves. I clicked.
Why else would they put him in Fortnite and Cyberpunk 2077?
In fact, Jared, make sure I need you to edit Keanu Reeves as the thumbnail for this video right now. You got it? You got it?
Okay.
You got that, Jared?
I'm gonna try. I got you.
All right, cool. Anyway, speaking of Keanu Reeves, I mean, where do we even start? E3 is still technically going on, but I don't know. I really don't know where to start. Where would you guys like to begin as far as
Well, maybe we should start with like how much we've actually watched of it. So I know for me personally, I've watched the Microsoft conference.
Same.
I've watched the Nintendo one. I've seen pieces and bits of the PC one that was posted online, and I saw the Square Enix one as well. So probably about half of it, and the other half was kind of either shown in other conferences or just from like online videos of people covering the same news.
I saw the Square Enix, Microsoft. I saw bits and pieces of the PC one. I think I was at work when Nintendo was on, unfortunately. And then those rare instances where I actually had something to do, so I couldn't exactly watch the press conference. Damn, that thing, yeah, and Bethesda, because that was on the same.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, Bethesda.
What's wrong with Bethesda?
No. It's just inside jokes from me and friends of work. I'm sorry.
Is it because I work in Bethesda?
Is it the fact that okay? So can we talk about this for a second? Why is it that Bethesda is named Bethesda, but they're headquartered in Rockville, fucking Maryland? Like,
why do we have to talk about this like once a month?
Because it makes no goddamn sense.
Nothing makes sense.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
The games they released doesn't make sense. Literally. I'm serious.
Did you mean like they have no logical consistency, or they don't make money?
I mean that whenever they release a game, that shit is broken on release. Almost all of it.
I agree.
So are you saying both, or...
Okay. All right, both then, nigga.
How did I even die? I don't understand.
Cause you some shit.
Damn, you gonna let them talk to you like that, Maurice?
I'm some shit. I don't know what to say. Literally have a character that restores my fucking health, and I fucking die out of nowhere. I don't even know where the explosion came from.
Damn, son, this game is rigged. Jared, how much of E3 did you watch?
So this is where I'm gonna get flamed. I had.
All right, you can stop talking now.
Here we go.
No, you said I can stop talking now, so that's all I gotta say. But no, I'm essentially hip to a lot of the releases that I kind of care about, because a lot of majority of the Nintendo games I kind of don't really play.
This nigga didn't watch nothing. Holy shit.
But yeah, nah, because it's unfortunately like I didn't get the time.
Oh my god, I died again.
All the conferences, but I was able to pick up a lot of bits and pieces. Excuse me. And basically, I'm hip to a lot of things that I knew was coming, like Gears 5. I knew about Borderlands 3, the gameplay that they showed. I'm hip to the Cyberpunk 2077. Like, it's just I wasn't able to watch the full conference, but I'm already hip.
So, in other words, you didn't watch none of it. You're hip, but you didn't sit down and watch none of it.
No, I didn't.
Do you see the things why we do the things we do to you, son? Do you see why now? Do you see do you see where me and Maurice are coming from though?
Oh, I don't like refute it.
During your vacation, did you watch The Lion King?
This nigga. I'm over here relaxing in California. You're gonna bug me about the fucking Lion King. I feel you.
I
I
mean,
feel like
what's
The
a
Lion
better-
King's a really relaxing movie.
I feel the same exact way.
Yeah.
Okay, son.
Hakuna Matata, like come on.
Hakuna Matata.
It is a wonderful phrase.
I hate you. And a lot of things.
You know the song, but you haven't watched the movie.
I hate you. And a lot of things that you said for right now. Oh,
Anyway, back to E3. All right, so me and Maurice watched it. Jared was a bitch, and he didn't watch.
that's
any of
rude.
it.
That
He
is
calls
so
you
rude.
a whole
Am I
bitch.
wrong?
I would never say anything like that.
Okay. All right. Nice. It's being told all over the place. That's what we do here. We're pathological liars here at the IMO Podcast, everybody. We're
You
just...
said that. I didn't say that.
Yo, what is setting me on fire? No, this is okay. This is concerning me now.
It's you
This
screaming
man,
my fire, bro.
this man is actually concerned of why he keeps dying.
I am. Like, this is wild. Like, I'm not even getting hit.
This nigga said, "Fuck the show. Why do I keep dying?" But no, seriously, why do I keep dying though?
No, for real. Like, I'm trying to be
I'm
100.
about to stop the whole show.
Is it the gun? I mean, because look, like this is the new Borderlands DLC that they released at E3 during the time of E3, and I have like this rainbow sparkle gun. I feel like this is killing me. I don't know if it is, but I'm gonna think we're gonna go a little bit deeper.
I mean, in Borderlands 3, they do have a legendary that sets you on fire, so it could be a foreshadowing of what's gonna happen.
This shit says Nirvana. Oh, that's a good ass fucking name for a gun.
I've known Maurice for about 5 years now. I've never heard him hear him sound so concerned as he does right now. Like, wait a minute, what is killing me? No, seriously, what is killing? I don't get it. What is killing me?
Okay,
Anyway.
I think we're good. We're gonna change the gun. We're gonna.
And he's still he does not care about this show.
Some mysteries have to be solved. All right,
I
or that's
while
on
we
the.
live, son?
That's the best time. I mean,
What?
get
Why
the
is
community
gun called
together.
Nirvana? So why is the gun called Nirvana, but it's killing you though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Well,
Nirvana for my
Well.
enemies, I get hell.
okay.
What were you gonna say?
I don't know. I'm trying to get a segue somewhere, but Cyberpunk. Let's start with that. Okay,
Alright.
I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I thought the
Keanu.
Microsoft press conference was actually not that bad. While
Yeah.
be that as it may, and Marvin, I hope Marvin's not listening. I don't really care about Cyberpunk.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Why don't you care about Cyberpunk?
Have we seen gameplay yet?
I thought we saw something last year. Or was that Rage 2?
No, we saw like a little bit of. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't think that was gameplay. Because we did see like a reveal for it, but I don't think it was actual gameplay. I think it was just like good cinematics. Honestly.
Is Cyberpunk based on a previous IP?
No.
No.
Why is this game so hyped then?
Honestly,
I
guess
couldn't
it's
tell
just-
you. I couldn't tell you. I'm just not following it like that.
I
Yeah,
think
I really don't get it.
I think because the game looks pretty. Like it looks pretty.
We haven't seen it.
No, like the cinematics, like the game itself, like the cinematics looks really pretty, so it's like eye catching. But
Mhm.
if anything, I guess it's just like it's supposed to be like a really in depth RPG in like kind of a like futuristic, but like kind of ghetto or I would say yeah, like crime infested area. So it's supposed to like spark that interest of like, I wonder what it's about. But why it's so hyped up, I don't know. Can't tell
So
you.
it's
that.
not based on anything, but this is one of the most hyped games of probably whatever year that's gonna come out. That's I don't know.
Probably
It just seems weird.
Probably memes.
I don't think it's memes, though.
I think
I think-
it may be the studio and what they're promising for the game.
Oh man.
But it's been at
Yeah,
like
I
think it's been at like every E3 this year so far. And I don't quote me on this, but I do think we have seen gameplay on it finally.
I think we have.
Yeah, like
just
I
can't-
think
can't recall it.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'm buying the game or not, but I hope that is good because we've been talking about this game for I want to say going on 3 or 4 years.
It's been about 3 or 4, maybe actually just 3.
Okay, yeah, and it's like we still don't know shit about the game, but we're hyped about it. I
You
don't
know, it's a lot like Death Stranding. You know.
Yeah, but Death Stranding, we were excited for Death Stranding because Kojima's behind.
No, I don't think. I don't think you really understand. We still don't have like an understanding of what actually is going on in the game. Like,
yes, we do.
that's
Kojima. That's all.
Okay,
That's
all right.
the
That's
answer you need right there.
the fact you use part of the meme to explain the fucking. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, because that's how transgender Kojima's name is right now. With Cyberpunk, I don't know who the fuck is behind that. It's just, well, we do now. Keanu Reeves is in it, so I guess that's hype.
He's behind it. Okay,
John
yeah,
Wick
that sounds.
2077.
Yes,
John Wick
Keanu Reeves
2077.
directed 2077 right there.
No,
Alright.
it's John Wick 2077. What you talking about, son?
Okay.
Okay,
He also put himself in the game as well.
Literally.
Literally. Anyway,
He is there.
what else did Microsoft do? I can't really remember. Keanu Reeves was like such a high point. I literally forgot that everything else that Microsoft
They announced the Halo Infinite and also their new gaming
Project
console that's
Starlight.
coming out. Yeah, that.
Oh yeah, they did. What's the code name for it again?
Project Starlight.
He literally just said it.
Oh, my bad.
You good?
You know it.
I don't pay attention to Jerry sometimes.
That's alright.
I know.
I mean, for good reasons. That nigga did.
For good reason.
I think didn't listen to Lion King.
I start saying Hakuna
I
Matata, that nigga just gonna look
hate
at me like, what the fuck are you saying?
He's literally going back into that. I don't know why you hate me.
You started that shit. Don't say he's going back into it.
I didn't start it, but I.
Okay. So,
Who really started it, Jared? Was it the nigga that called you out on it, or the nigga who didn't watch the goddamn movie?
why are you feeding the fire?
Why can't you just nip it in the bud and watch the movie and shut me up? Like what?
All right. Okay.
Anyway,
Modern
Microsoft.
problems, modern solutions.
Microsoft. What do y'all think? What do y'all think the new Xbone is going to be called? Xbone 2, Xbone 1, 2.
I want them to fulfill my.
720.
I want 720. Yes, got
That's what I thought the Xbox One was gonna be.
Yeah.
That would have been too obvious.
Or
So look at PlayStation. Like, who cares?
I mean, yeah, but it's PlayStation, son.
You okay? I don't get how that validates it, but okay.
It validates it because it validates it. That's the logic here. I'm pretty sure.
My head hurts from
How
hearing
many,
that.
how many Xboxes have we had in the past 4 years? Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox Plus, or some shit like that. I forgot the actual name of it.
Wait, there was Xbox Plus? I thought it was just the one.
There was, as I recall, there was 3 Xboxes. Xbox
Yeah, the
I,
one-
Xbox
Yeah, I think it was.
N.
I think it was the one. The
Yeah, I'm
one.
about to say.
There was Xbox One, Xbox One S,
And then the One X.
and then the One X.
Mhm.
Damn, that naming convention is dumb.
Right.
Which one was the most powerful one?
The X. It was supposed to be on par with
Like-
gaming PCs.
Supposed to be on par with Alien X from Benton.
All right, let's not talk about that. That
Wow.
nigga was dumb busted. Okay.
Wow, you're feeding it.
And
You didn't watch The Lion King.
I hate I fucking hate
The fact that he keeps going to it.
I mean, I keep on giving you chances week after week. Anyway, are we ready for the next generation?
Mm,
Do you
I'm
feel
actually-
that we're ready?
Well,
Do you-
given how like this was kind of more of a third party developers E3, I'd say probably. I say we're getting it regardless of if we're ready or not.
Interesting. To me, it feels like we just bought the PlayStation 4, but then again, I realized
You just bought the. Never mind.
that we bought it around the same time.
I was joking. That was a joke.
No, you wasn't.
I was because you bought it for Destiny for the first Destiny, right?
Actually, I just bought it because that shit was on sale. But
You got the Destiny edition.
yeah, and it came with like 2 games.
All right, you're right. My bad. But that's around the time you bought it, though, right?
Yeah. Yes.
All right, that was like 2014.
Damn.
No, 2015. Sorry.
Yeah. Damn. So it's been 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't feel like it.
Well, technically 3 if you math.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Time progresses. Time moves forward. We're in the present. Now the future from that past present. Now the future from that past present. It's an ongoing cycle, as you can see. Time was that was the joke.
Wow, that threw me for a loop. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I had to pause off of that one. How do we think that Microsoft did as a whole?
The fact they gave Gears 5 more info on Gears 5, I'm okay with it.
Here you go with Gears again.
I'm
Gears,
sorry you
Gears
suck
this,
at it.
Gears that. I don't play Gears.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
suck at it.
for their big shit though, I think and this is kind of like maybe the overlying theme of all of E3 is that we just didn't see enough gameplay. Like a lot of people I was surprised to hear this, but a lot of people on the floor actually got to play a lot of the games that they just showed like story cinematics for. Yeah, so for instance, the Avengers game, right? Remember how we saw absolutely nothing of the Avengers game? Yeah. People actually were able to play it on the floor.
They were like, "What the fuck is this?" Probably.
No, complete opposite. They were ecstatic about it. It was just the same problem with these games as a service games because at the end of the day, that's what it is. Is that the core gameplay is fun, but what's the gameplay loop? What's the
real,
the content? Not even the, you can even see the story a little bit because story is usually going to be there because writers do their work like way before any of the video game stuff gets done. But like, how does this translate into the final product of like, what will I be doing, or why will I have a reason to come back to the game every day?
Right.
True.
So.
Hold up. Sorry, bro. I had to be myself.
Because like I think about it now, it's like because you can see a game trailer, you can see like the choreographed, gameplay, but until you actually play, you really don't know what you're getting into, honestly. Because how many times has it happened where we see gameplay or we see like choreographed gameplay and then the game comes out looks nothing like what we just saw?
Well, that's not even the problem here. The problem here is that we just don't see any, like as the viewers from home.
Yeah. Even I was in chat saying like, yeah, where I appreciate the cinematics. Don't get me wrong. I get hyped for some cinematics, but at some point you gotta like come in with the gameplay. Mm-hmm. At some point, and I just feel that it was woefully lacking from almost every conference the ones that I saw, except for Nintendo, because you just can't lump Nintendo with everybody else.
You absolutely cannot. Like even for their 2020 games, like you may not know this one, but I feel like you'd like it a lot. Even like No More Heroes, which is like a game that's like kind of way off, had at least 20 seconds of gameplay to show you we're giving you the same shit as last year, but 5 times more wacky because we're giving you fucking mech suits.
Yeah, Nintendo. I swear, Nintendo probably deserves a podcast show on its own because Nintendo is just so fucking not far beyond. It's just when I think of how you do everything right except for online play. When you do everything right, I think of.
I always gotta throw that in.
Yeah, you just gotta sneak that one in there because that online play. But everything else,
they're doing a little better. They're doing a little better with it. As far as like some of the deals, like we literally just got a year worth of Switch Online for like just having Twitch on a Twitch Prime account.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was pretty lit. So they're making strides in other places, but latency, connections, all of pretty much Smash Bros is what I'm pretty much saying here is where it kind of.
Yeah, we're looking right at you, Soccer.
Oh my god.
Anyway, before we get to Nintendo, I want to talk. So, rating for Microsoft, I'm giving Microsoft 7. Though it was a bit. Oh no, 8 because Keanu Reeves. I bumped it up an entire.
Yeah, I mean,
was godlike.
No, for having like no exclusives, announcing a second console, which those things don't really like correlate to each other, but and then just a fuck ton of games that we're not going to be seeing on their system, on just solely their systems. I think they did it pretty all right. I'm not dissatisfied with theirs at all. I would say about an 8 actually too. So
yeah,
they
didn't do as bad as I thought for a console with no games.
Yeah.
So wait, would you consider Gears of War an exclusive or no?
It's on PC, so no.
Well,
technically, because actually, I don't know if they're gonna do the same thing they did with Gears of War 4. Because
yeah, go ahead.
I know, because Gears of War 4 it came out as like a PC, like here's Xbox and here's PC. Well, no one there wasn't a big enough community for it, so essentially they just said, okay, well you can play it on PC, but you're gonna play it on the Microsoft. So essentially, you're using your Microsoft account You're not using like Steam or anything like that, or Epic.
Is there crossplay between PC and Xbox?
Actually, a few games do that, I believe.
No, I meant
for
Gears.
yeah.
For Gears.
I don't know.
Man, they're really
I
dropping the
hope
ball.
so.
They're really
I
dropping
honestly
the ball.
God hope so.
Exclusivity to me doesn't mean like where it's like for me it means like where it's being published or shit, I can't aim for shit. Where it's being played at, not like who's publishing it.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so long as it's on another system I can play. I mean, fuck using like Microsoft stuff, right? I mean, if I have to use it, I'll use it. But as long as I can play it on something besides an Xbox, it's not exclusive.
Gotcha. Okay. Because it's not really pushing the console sales. Yeah.
No. And like it has to be available on only that platform.
Yeah.
For it to be considered that. At least that's what I think the rule should be.
Okay. I can agree with that.
Yeah, fuck aiming right now.
What is aiming?
I'm trying to hold conversation and also not die. So, oh damn, we fucked this up.
It's not easy. I feel you. It is not easy.
Nah. You need to do better.
You should play Tekken and also.
I mean,
you remember those days? Remember those days I was both hosting the podcast and playing the game?
No.
You don't? I remember that shit. That shit was awful. That was oh my god. I never want to go back to that shit.
I literally can't, like, if I ever do this, I'm never playing a fighting game because it's like I can't focus on a fighting game and conversations at the same time. This shit doesn't work.
Accepted.
All right.
Bet. You're doing yep. So you do it next week.
Hey, I heard it. Next week.
Yep.
I'm just doing it.
Yep.
Yo, all right then, let's do it. Hey,
Let's
I'm
go.
with it.
Jared,
Let's
you gotta
go.
host the show.
I got a what?
You gotta host the show.
Nigga, what? No, that is not what I said.
Yeah, you said you have to do both.
All right, so Jared's gonna host the show. Anyway.
No, you gotta do no. You gotta do both. If you could do both, then we'll let Jared host a podcast after you next
Why
week.
the fuck are you speaking for me?
Hush, Jared. I'm speaking for.
Hush?
Okay, so I don't agree with none of this. Anyway, so Square
A
Enix
fucking bet, bitch. Like.
also had one of those there fangled conferences at the Electronic Expo thingamajig. Did anybody watch it? I'm sorry, Maurice. Did you watch it?
Right.
Sorry, what was the question again? It was.
Did you watch the Square Enix conference?
Yeah, I watched that one. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people. There were some folks who did not really care for the JRPGs that were being shown. Like, it was just so many, or maybe it was just like threw some people off.
To be fair, it's Square.
I loved it. Son, give me a hack and slash or action RPG any day of the week. Like, I will play that over a shooter any day of the week. Just preference.
What were people getting, like...
Third birthday too?
What?
Is the Square Enix shooting game. Go ahead.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, that's what Square does, though. That's their thing. So to think that you're getting mad at... It's almost getting mad at Microsoft for saying that there's a Halo game coming out.
That's fair.
I don't really see what niggas are getting mad over.
I don't know. So yeah, their stuff, they actually had some good games coming out as well, or at least some interesting concepts, because again, we didn't see a whole lot of gameplay. There was this one game called
The
Outriders.
Oh, okay.
See,
I mean, probably that one too. Oh shit, I'm about to die again.
I thought you was gonna say the Samurai Ghost game.
Samurai Ghost. Oh, Oninaki.
Wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
I forgot the name.
Yeah,
It was.
I think I
I
know
thought it was
what
Ghost something.
Isn't it like
Ghostbusters? Something strange.
I know what you're talking about, but I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I got rewatch the conference.
Ghostwire.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I
There
knew
we go.
it.
That
I'm
shit
like,
looks
I know what it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit looks hype. I'm definitely on board for that shit. I don't know what it's.
Wait, which one was that one?
Ghostwire. Ghostwire.
It kind of looks like a From Software game, but
To be
it's not
specific,
From
it's
Software.
That's not that's not the Zelda clone, is it?
No.
No.
It's hard to describe it. It's hard to describe it unless because we don't know shit about the game. Just know that it has something to do with you being a weeb. And that's all I got. Like,
Travis, is that No More Heroes you're talking about, or?
Okay.
Because that's what some of No More Heroes is about. Like just being real.
I'm pretty sure it's not No More Heroes. Though.
Nah.
But anyway, yeah, that game looks hype. The was the Black on Black Violence video game also Square Enix, or I'm thinking somebody else, or was that Bethesda?
Black on Black Violence.
All right, so it was about a black dude and a black woman killing each other in an endless loop.
Oh, Deathloop?
Is that what it's called?
I'm pretty sure it's just called Deathloop.
And it had the black people, right?
Why do I not remember this? Was I actually watching the Square Enix conference?
Was it Bethesda? Hold up.
I'm checking right now.
Yes, I don't remember that one.
What was it called again, Jared? Deathloop?
Deathloop. Yeah, it's Deathloop.
Deathloop.
Yeah, the nigga that looks like Jax from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Deathloop.
Okay. So was that
I'm just saying.
Was that Bethesda?
Yes, it was Bethesda.
Oh, whoops. My bad. yeah, Bethesda software. Yeah, my bad. That was the Bethesda conference. We'll come to Bethesda in 1 second. I got some words for Bethesda.
I think I know what you're gonna say too, bro.
But yeah, Square did the holy shit, Cameron. God damn, Maurice, do not go into chat. Holy shit, this nigga about to give me a seizure.
You good?
No, I'm not. Like, oh my god, Cameron almost killed me. I am really about to. So I can't go in the chat. Holy shit. I'm sorry, guys, but I was like Cameron. He put up this flashing pentagram and a dog inside of it. I can't.
The fuck?
Yeah, I know. Cameron's a wild boy, and I swear to God, he almost killed me. I'm in a dark ass room too, boy.
I'm a wild boy.
Stop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyway, Final Fantasy. Now, I didn't play Final Fantasy 7 because I just didn't play Final Fantasy 7. I think a lot.
I have different reasons than you, maybe, but maybe.
So,
yeah.
Okay, so why are we, like, I see, like, some side-by-side memes of this game being from, like, the 90s, and they're remaking it again. I'm just like, how many times are they going to remake this game?
This is the only time they've remade it. Other times have been remasters to bring it up to the quality of other games visually, not so much, like, on their actual graphic side. Even though that's still visual.
I'm just saying, like, because if anything, would it still be valid to say how many times this game been re-released?
Oh, it's been re-released a fuck ton. Like it's damn near on every platform at this point.
I'm like, are we? Like, apparently it had to be that good of a fucking game. I didn't play it. I'm not sure if it was bad, but holy fuck, it is. It's spoken in the same breath as Kingdom Hearts a lot, like a lot. Yeah. Wait,
niggas love some.
Like, hold on, are we talking like convoluted level or actually like really like
both? Both.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, like, we have like 5 games on like 5 different consoles on Final Fantasy.
Nah, it's all in one game. They decided to make it a little easier.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I keep seeing like, oh, Final Fantasy 7 remake, Final Fantasy 7 remaster, Final Fantasy 7 movie. I'm like, the fuck? Like, where's 8?
Niggas, yeah, fuck. People didn't like 8 as much. Yeah, it's just No. The 8's problem was like the fucking coding on the game was super weird and hard for them to port over. That's why they kept skipping it.
Did you play that one? Did you play 8?
No, I did not.
Okay. The way you were talking about it, I thought you played.
No, I actually do research on this show.
I for real thought they went from 7 to 10 to 11 to 12.
What?
Because like that's the only ones I remember is 7, 10, 11, and 12.
So you thought they just skipped? Oh damn, son.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's just those are the ones that.
So you said 7, 10, 11. What the fuck was 11? What the fuck was Final Fantasy 11?
It was an MMO for the PS2, I believe, or PS3. It was actually pretty high quality for the time, and I'm using that word very loosely.
But if you want to talk about high quality for the time, that was Final Fantasy 12. I'm just saying.
That one. See, you say that, and I mean, I know what you mean. You talk about Fran, you know, thickness bunny. I understand, but that game was a bit of a mess as well in terms of like
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. Not now. Not the time. Story wise, yes, it was great. Combat wise, it was a little bit much to be desired, only because of their gambit system, which is kind of like the licensing system. Think like Elder Scrolls and you feeding points into a certain skill. You do that before everything in the game, so your equipment, your skills, your weapons, stuff like that. That was a little. It wasn't as streamlined as it is today, but it is like a very good experience once you get past that initial hump of like learning what the fucking how to like abuse the fucking not gambit system, the license system. The gambit system, something else.
Yeah.
So that's the one I've actually played. That's one of the few ones I've actually played through.
Yeah, I played that one.
Yeah.
Well, that one.
Yeah.
It was sorry.
Yeah.
But it's like because when I think about it, a lot of the Final Fantasy titles kind of get swept under the rug, and you only remember like, I mean, for at least me, I only remember a few of them, and I'm like, wait, did they even make like the rest of these numbers?
Yes.
But...
I mean, just to answer your question.
Yeah, they've gone through them. They've
literally
yeah.
gone through them.
They've gone through them.
Next.
Well, no, we're gonna get hella sidetracked talking about Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy 7, the remake. It looks good.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna buy it. I can hack and slash.
Wait. Episodic releases.
Huh?
I always have to remind people of that, and it makes me laugh so much.
Fuck, right. No, you're absolutely right.
I know, because people forget, like, oh man, this looks great. I can't wait till the full game comes out. Me either.
Yeah, that's a damn. No. Square's just a big ass meme at this point.
So,
They have really good and talented teams that work really hard. Their problem is sometimes they're just too ambitious with their content or the product they try to make.
Yeah, they need to focus on one fucking thing, son. This is getting ridiculous. I swear to God, it's getting to the point where I think they just have like 6 people working on one game. like what's going on?
That would be incredible. Like if they still release like Final Fantasy 14 with only a team of 6, that would be incredible. So that is a full fucking experience.
If you give me 9 years, I'm pretty sure we can too. That's pretty decent in 9 years.
Well, not 15, 14.
Oh, 14? Oh.
Yeah, that's the MMO me and Marvin play. Which had like a really rocky fucking start, so the 6-person thing made me.
That would probably make sense there. Yeah, right.
So fun little story about Final Fantasy 15. Okay, so hear me out. So one of my coworkers actually brought it to my attention, and I didn't even realize it at first, but they literally released DLC of the core game. Like this was okay. You go through the story mode, and then some parts are edited out. Essentially, like you don't know all these things, and they release that as DLC.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
I didn't even notice that. I'm like, wow, that's kind of shitty, honestly. Like there's nothing new.
Remember when I forgot these characters' name, but the big nigga with the sword.
You talking about
Gladios? Fuck.
Yeah. Remember the part where he just remember he like at the near the end of the game he just disappears.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna go on my own. Like,
and he's like, I just gotta take care of some stuff. What are you talking about? What stuff, nigga? What the fuck?
He magically comes back. It's like, where the fuck have you been? Like,
I had to take care of some stuff. Don't worry about it. You'll learn it in the DLC in 2 years. Well, okay, all right. Yeah, that was really bad. They could have did that a little bit more tasteful. Can you imagine just like you're watching like a trilogy and one of the main characters is just like, hey, I gotta go away for like 8 scenes. I'll be right back. He comes back, hey, what's going on? You'll learn in the spinoff. Like, come on.
Yeah, that was a little whack. But that kind of had its own shortcomings as a game. Which they've thankfully fixed now that they've released 4 DLC packs.
At this point, it's not even the same. I want to go back and replay the entire game now. This girl. My copy of the game. I gotta get that shit back. But yeah, your time is up. I got body. Damn, I got.
You.
Fuck.
Do you? I thought it gets saved to your account. Oh, you didn't buy it.
No, I bought the game, but I didn't buy the DLC.
That's what I meant. Oh damn! I think I meant that.
So I got to buy the DLC.
Call it DLC, honestly.
It is.
I got to pay for it.
Right?
Anything that's not in the original game, upon release.
I was about to say it is part of the original game, though.
Shut up, son.
You literally play the part right when you get to.
Literally.
Anyways, Square Enix. I didn't think they did bad either. I would give them a 7.5. I was okay with everything they had.
Did we talk about? Oh, and then they released more story content about the
Talk about that.
Final Fantasy 14.
Oh,
even though
I thought you were about to say Kingdom Hearts.
no, fuck no. Even though like you wouldn't really get it unless you actually play Final Fantasy 14, so there's not really much point talking about that. Plus, we've already had our E3 for that game, so we're straight. The Avengers game I want to talk about before we give it a complete rating.
That was Square. God
yeah.
Damn.
So from what I've heard so far, it's an action adventure title. You do play as a character. They do play with a melee focused moveset for for who it makes sense for. Iron Man probably plays like a mid to long range game.
Nice.
And they said that there will be adding more characters to the game, so we could see a Spider-Man.
Nice.
We could see Hank Pym, other characters that you may care about.
Nice.
All that for free. They also said no loot boxes.
Right.
And so they say, right. And but they didn't throw cosmetics off the table, which is a little bit of the concerning part. So what we saw at E3 was just a story cinematic trailer of what they're going to be doing. So team breaks up. You have to spend a game to get the band back together again, similar to the Beatles. Yeah. What's kind of fucked up is that they didn't show us gameplay, even though they had gameplay on hand. Like they had the game full demo ready to go for people to play. But here's where I have an issue, right? I think it's going to follow the same fucking trend of all these games as a service game, where they have an interesting story, but they just don't know what the identity of the game is. It took Bungie like 4, 5, 6 years to actually figure out that they were an MMO game, right? And we'll talk about that later if we have time. Yeah, if we have time. But that's kind of all the information we have from the one piece of research I did, which is just from one YouTuber who went there and played it. He said it seems fine, but where does it go from here? What is the game? In
an era where AAA games has to be kind of how can I say it, polished. Do we care of how the game looks graphically at this stage?
I think it depends on the game.
Yeah.
I have my preferences. Oh, go ahead, Jared. You haven't talked in a while.
I was gonna say right. No, but I was gonna say because I feel as though like what Marie's gonna say, the graphics it really does depend on the game because you already know where I'm going with this, but take Borderlands for example. It's not the super Call of Duty Modern Warfare type of graphics or the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but it's not like at that level. Even with Borderlands 3, they didn't try to make it look better. They just made it look like something that we loved and we cared about. So it kind of doesn't matter. It's because if you have a game that is fun as hell but has kind of more cartoon type of graphics, what does it even matter?
Hold up, guys, 1 second. Keep going.
But yeah, that's my stance on it because graphics. I mean, they make a game look nice. Like for example, Outrider looks beautiful from the Square Enix conference. But what even is it? I don't even. It's just is this a movie? Literally, I'm looking at this shit is this a movie or is this a game? You know what I mean? So I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, and there has to be something to be said for the artist vision in the game. 'Cause a lot of people just it's easier for people to shit on the game because it doesn't look as good as another game in the genre where it could just be depending on the vision that the art team had for the game or how they thought it would be best represented, because it doesn't have to look like fucking Witcher 3 graphics in 2016, cinematic graphics of course, or Shadow of the Tomb Raider graphics or stuff like that, And you can tell a very interesting story or make a very compelling game or make a very strong game on shit graphics. Like, the indie community proves this time and time again.
I mean, look at Final Fantasy,
Final Fantasy VII. I actually know someone who's bought every single release of Final Fantasy VII just so he can play it because he loves the game that much.
Dog, like, okay, so I'm literally playing like through Final Fantasy X, through Final Fantasy. Well, I'm not gonna count Final Fantasy 12, but Final Fantasy X. Like, you have these amazing cinematics, but then when you go to the actual gameplay, shit looks like it's back to PS1. Honestly. I'm just like, oh my god. But I mean, I personally enjoyed it.
Didn't it not look that bad as far as gameplay goes at the time?
Yeah, I guess you could say at the time.
I don't ever remember Final Fantasy, any of them, just looking particularly ugly.
Did you look at the gameplay for Final Fantasy?
Go look at the gameplay.
Yeah, like now compared to then.
Because like back when the PS2 was the dominant console, I mean, at that point it's like, oh, this looks cool. But we didn't have like what we have now to compare to.
Yeah. Now that we have better, now that we know better, we want better for everything.
Now that we know better.
I mean, shit. Go back to like the fucking early 2000s. Look at some of those games. Like, holy fuck, you're like, goddamn. We used to think this shit was cool, like or polished, like high graphics. God damn. But now we evolved, man. Technology keeps growing. I don't know, but yeah.
Jared, look how I ran through that boss when you get a chance.
Look at what?
Look how I ran through that boss when you get a chance.
What did I hear that there is this plan to bring a group of remarkable people together for anyway. What if this is the second part in a Marvel video game universe?
Oh, as far as like the Spider-Man thing?
Yes. That
would be interesting, but seeing as how it's two different companies, Crystal Dynamics and I got two of these. Nice.
It's under Marvel.
Crystal Dynamics is, but Naughty Dog did the Spider-Man game, right?
You're talking about Insomniac, yeah.
Insomniac, gosh, I get them mixed up. My bad. But yeah, those are two different studios, correct?
Yeah, but if it's underneath of Marvel different.
Oh well, you know what? Because there also is, and sorry for cutting you off, Jared, but there also is a deal where they're going to be providing PlayStation 4 users more benefits to sign on, so exclusive loot and shit like that, exclusive weapons and gear and shit. They've already stated that this is going to be a thing, so maybe not too far off.
I don't see how that ties into what I just into.
Well, if Spider-Man was under PS4 and the new Avengers game is going to have exclusive loot for PS4, then there could be a communication between a couple of companies to make these games, to make them come out on time so they can make money off of building a franchise similar to Marvel. But I mean, even that sounds kind of far-fetched when I say it out loud.
It does seem a little bit hard, because then you would have to have different studios kind of communicating with each other, or basically just Marvel writes the script and they have these different publishers make the game. That's literally the only way I see how this could work, because I'm pretty sure that Square is going to want to go back and forth with Insomniac and all this other bullshit, and Marvel's not that goddamn powerful, but they have the mouse behind it. They can beat them. Anyway, but that would be pretty dope if they could pull some shit like that off. Now, I think it'll be a little bit less special, because I'm a Spider-Man purist, and I'm messing with you. No, but seriously, I just think that the styles would clash a little bit too hard. The way that Insomniac will probably design the Avengers is probably completely different from the way that Square would design the Avengers. So there's shit like that, and I don't know how they're gonna make that shit work. I don't get paid to think about shit like that, but if they can find a way to do that, that would be great. Or they could just have Insomniac make everything, but Insomniac, they're not gonna do that, because they do what they do.
Yeah, and like them having a couple of different other people do this game, make the different games, that makes a little bit more sense time wise, because I mean, you're essentially asking for like 3 to 4 years per title.
Yeah, and unless you just have like all your games like ready to go, you're actively working on about 3 games at nearly at the same time. Yeah, I have no idea how that's gonna work. So you're working on a Daredevil game. You're working on a Daredevil game. Sounds fucking dope, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, like
So,
a stealth game or something like that. That'd be sick.
yeah.
Oh no, just like Arkham Asylum skin.
Right, yeah, like just do that. The sky's the limit. But yeah, Square. They did a good job. 7.5. Maurice.
7. Like I just have to fault them for like fucking not having that gameplay fucking ready to show us. It's like I feel like there were snippets in like what they showed, but I mean, come on, like a game that big, they've been hyping it for like a couple months already. Like it should have been ready to go.
Maybe they wasn't. Maybe they didn't have too much confidence in it.
Which is probably another problem with these games.
Yeah, I'm about to say you should be confident for a game you're hyping that hard, but
Square doesn't exactly have a spotless track record, so there's a possibility this could be ass. We don't know.
They in one word I would just say that they're ambitious.
Yeah, they are. Well, and then we don't know how long they've been working on this actually, do we?
No. Oh, but did you see how Natasha's face looked too? Like, can we talk about that?
Nope.
Can we just talk about that? Like why does it look so rough, dude? Like,
yeah, it looks like a man. Like your jawline is more detailed than mine. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Going back to Marvel's Capcom Infinite type shit, yo.
Right, like don't just put the one woman in there so you can have some sex appeal and not go 100 on the sex appeal. Like, please.
Marie said you got it. Damn, she is the only woman there. Huh, interesting. How convenient is that? Anyway, lastly, well, not lastly, but there's a bunch of shit we can talk about, but we're kind of winding low on time. Bethesda could have did better. I feel like Bethesda has been on a bad track record for the past 2 years or something.
Yeah.
The only interesting thing that they had was Deathloop.
And Ghostwire?
That was oh damn, that was Bethesda.
Oh, okay, that explains why I didn't know what the fuck Ghostwire was.
Okay, Bethesda didn't do that bad then.
Oh my gosh.
I could have sworn that was Square though. But yeah, but at the same time, we ain't get gameplay for none of those things. So it's as cool as the premise may be. It's just a cinematic. I think that was a majority of what, not just E3, but I think Bethesda kind of had that issue more than the other conferences. All they had was pre-rendered cutscenes. Skyrim, Deathloop, the Ghost game. I'm gonna say Skyrim again. They had Doom, but Doom already came out. So like I don't.
Oh, so is Doom Eternal a spinoff or a sequel?
I don't know what the fuck Doom Eternal is, to be honest with you. Okay. It could be anything.
It's the Avengers game at this point.
Nah, Doom kinda has a story, kinda, but the Doom that came out a couple of years ago was just a reboot to the whole series. It was like, hey, you guys remember Doom? Well, here's Doom that looks pretty and completely new. Yeah. So yeah, this is the sequel essentially.
Yeah, but I'm not taking anything away from Doom. It looks like a great game, and for everything that I've heard, everybody loved the reboot of Doom. Like almost everybody. Right. But my thing is, if that's the only thing you're gonna come with gameplay, you gotta come with something else. You gotta come with more gameplay than that. I really appreciate all the cinematics, but cinematics don't tell me shit.
Well, again, I think this is one of those games where they just chose to show you story, but the gameplay was on the floor.
True. I don't think Bethesda had any gameplay on the floor though.
I mean,
I've seen clips of it.
What the fuck is going on this year?
I mean, wasn't the Fallout 76 Battle Royale?
We don't talk about Fallout around this place.
Did you hear the people yelling and cheering in that shit?
Dog,
just like, what are y'all?
I swear to God.
Oh my God, this is exactly what I wanted.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm like, okay, please stop. Just stop.
Like, we already know that this fucking Battle Royale bandwagon shit is getting annoying, and that's like, oh, we're gonna release a Fallout 76 Battle Royale because obviously that's what we're doing when our games fail. Just put a Battle Royale mode in there.
Yeah, that's like 10 minutes worth of gameplay of Doom Eternal. Like legit, just there. I don't VG 24/7. I guess video games 24/7. I don't know what the fuck. They posted gameplay of it. Pretty sure you could just find more somewhere.
I'm sorry, just oh my god, I'm over here dying. This fucking like it's kind of sad when I think about it. When I see a game go to like Battle Royale bandwagon, it's really fucking sad.
I agree, man.
So, no Sony to save the day because you know Sony was on a Sony.
They legit did not want to go to E3, yo.
I think they just saw the competition. They was like, man, you niggas not doing nothing this year. We can sit this one out.
No, I think the reasoning for it was I think we talked about this before, but they said that they can't present the games in the way they want to. So essentially, because they can't have an auditorium to showcase off Last of Us 2, which hasn't come out yet, to a bunch of people, and then move them to another auditorium to show them the rest of the games, which was really fucking awkward. Does anyone else remember that? Yeah. So because they can't do shit like that as seamless, they want to present it on their own stage. I'm just like, why?
Had a fucking intro? Like, are you serious right now?
Yeah, they did. They looked like they had the people on stream waiting like what was it, Andre? Like 10, 15 minutes until they got everyone seated and shit.
It was a while. I want to say 20 almost. It was pretty bad. It was it was no, it wasn't worth the wait. It was what they showed was really impressive. I'm not saying that it wasn't. It was just they have the entire stage. Well, I don't think it was the entire stage, but a good chunk of it. To go from one stage to the next. Nah, that's not
just to sell you on the game. And I'm like, I appreciate the effort and you trying to set the ambiance or the feng shui of the game or whatever the fuck it's called.
Feng shui.
But like, dog, we just want to see the games. We don't like, son. How do I put this?
They extra.
They trying to they try to take us on a date and we just trying to fuck. Like, stop. Just
I remember one year they had an entire fucking orchestra play the entire soundtrack to one game. I think it was The Last of Us, and they brought an entire orchestra and they played the entire not the entire soundtrack, but half the soundtrack for one game, and then they showed us the gameplay of the game. I'm like, that's great, but y'all can tone it down just a little.
Y'all ain't gonna do all that.
We are not here for the orchestra. We're definitely just here for the games. I don't know why. Fuck, that sucks.
Yeah, Sony's doing a little bit too much. And you know what? I'm glad that E3 told them no, you can't do this because fuck you. Like,
I don't know. No, E3 didn't tell them. I don't think did E3 tell them no. I just thought they just said.
Why else did they not do it?
Because what I said earlier, they just couldn't do that anymore. Like they felt like as though they needed their own stage to be able to present their games in the way they wanted to present them.
Well,
and that's why
they're going to do. They're going to have a different stage for each game and shit.
They're going to go to PlayStation Experience, and just do it there, I guess.
Somebody's got to tune in for that shit, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we've done it before.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, oops.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's nothing new. They both Nintendo and Sony do this.
Back to yeah, that's right. Nintendo. That once again, you just can't lump Nintendo with the rest of these names. It's like literally everything we're talking about. Nintendo's over here like, interesting. Really? Anyway,
online play.
Stop. Stop. What's that? On the line play? You want to play online?
you mean co-op? Is that what you mean?
The fuck?
Couch co-op? Yeah, no, yes, but no.
Oh, you mean from different space?
What is Ethernet?
Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi?
They got Wi-Fi. Let me stop.
I'm pretty sure it's better than ours too, but
it probably is. Which is why I'm wondering why they got this fucking problem. It's like fucking beyond me. But
well, that's because their shit works flawlessly between each other, so they don't have to put much effort into it. our shit's like fucking taped together with band-aids and gum.
Forgot the duct tape, my nigga.
And the duct tape. Because you know duct tape fixes everything.
Yeah, duct tape be going hard though.
Son, the saying knows if you can't fix it with duct tape, you're just not using enough duct tape.
I'm giving Bethesda a 6, mostly because of Deathloop and that other game that escapes me. Yeah, there we go. It's fuck Fallout. They need. I wouldn't have even said the game at that point. We have heard your feedback. Okay, all right, but yeah, we're probably gonna leave Nintendo and go into a little bit more of Sony next game. Yeah, because
Sony.
I like talking about Sony.
They didn't talk about nothing.
I know.
All right.
Predictions.
All right.
Yeah, because Nintendo came with that fucking per usual. I'm not sure why I was surprised, but
yeah, they were missing out on a couple things, but I don't. It'd be hard for me to believe you left the Nintendo conference feeling like salty or dissatisfied.
Yeah.
Like they gave up a lot of shit. Like they didn't mention a lot of games. Like maybe like it was just 2, Bayonetta 3 and Metroid Prime 4. But I mean, other than that, like I was pretty excited about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should start wrapping it up. So I'll be honest with you. I wasn't really too impressed with E3 this year. I don't know. I don't know what it is about this year. It's just I'm not really feeling as hype as I did like those previous years, especially like those 2014 or 2013 years and shit like that. I don't know what it is about this.
Well, a lot of people have been feeling that same exact way, and their reasoning or explanation is that they haven't seen like that AAA game that came out, the one that kind of like sets the standard for E3, the one you just go back thinking about, that's gonna be game of the year right there, like fucking God of War, shit like that. There was nothing that made you feel, which is ironically a Sony game. There's nothing that really made you feel that way, and a lot of people. I gotta put this. Like I said, a lot of people felt this way about the conferences.
Yeah, there was nothing really like game changing this year.
Yeah.
You got that. God damn! Look at that. That's it right there. That's the controversy.
Yeah. And then I ultimately don't agree with that, but that's more so for personal reasons and because I'm a fucking nerd. So, no, because I'm a fucking nerd. Because a lot of my games that got announced, I was super hyped for because I've been waiting on sequels for those games for a minute. Specifically, No More Heroes 3 and the Pokemon game, I think. No, not the Pokemon game. Pokemon game, yes. But there was another one that came out that I liked a lot from Nintendo.
Okay. Yeah, that's it's a little bit lackluster this E3, but hey, they can't all be bangers,
Well, why can't they though?
I mean, yeah, shit, you got it. If you like what you're listening to, guys, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot. It helps us grow. Share this with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with your little auntie's cousin. Don't share it to those Generation Z niggas though. We trying to stay away from.
Z.
Yeah, that's not our demographic. So we don't
Demographic.
Yeah, we don't talk to that Tide Pod generation, son. We don't.
Tide Pod generation.
Yeah, we don't.
Dang.
Yeah, we don't. I'm not associate with you niggas. You niggas weird.
I'm sorry. Yo.
Anyway, anybody have any closing thoughts on LE3?
Please don't let Avengers be another Destiny 2 or Anthem. Like, I just can't take it.
Okay, you can't. Destiny 2 and Anthem are two completely different fucks.
But they both fucked up in the same ways. It's like we're just not going to look at our competition and see where they fucked up and just prevent ourselves from making that same mistake. They both made their own mistakes twice. Twice.
Yeah, Anthem had a lot of fucking time.
It was damn near the same goddamn release as Destiny. Only Destiny thankfully had Bolts of Glass to keep it going, and Anthem had shit.
It literally had like,
I forgot all about Anthem, to be honest.
Do you remember the beta and the fucking water son? Like, oh my, I'm sorry. Off rip, I'm like, I have very bad feelings about the game. I hate the fact that I hyped it up too. I was like, oh, this looks really cool, this looks interesting, but then when you actually get to the gameplay, you're like, the fuck is this?
What's sad is it was such an interesting concept.
Right?
Just to fly around, running gun. It seemed, it felt right, and they dropped the ball. Hard. And I'm getting real tired of these companies dropping the fucking ball. All right, getting real tired of this shit.
Son, it's literally a trend. It's like, okay, what we're gonna do is, like, speaking as a developer, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna send this game out. We know it's not done, but we're going to fix it as DLC.
And there's just like Marie said, there's just no excuse for Anthem. It's been what, 3 years, 4 years, 3 years. How long has the Destiny franchise been out?
4 years, right? 5 years. 5 years.
5 years, where you could have just been sitting in the back taking notes. Literally every mistake that Bungie did, you should not have made.
Because literally they made them twice, so you had relevant material to use.
Right. It's like who is your director? Who is in charge? Because somebody needs to be fired. Because you guys lost. I would imagine that EA lost a fuck ton of money.
Son, like,
I can't even imagine how much money they lost.
Like,
it's gotta be in the millions somewhere.
It's really bad because, like, even if they do somewhat fix this game, what player base is going to be there to enjoy it? Like, I'm sorry, it's just like they give all these promises and it's like, well, we don't believe you, so fuck that. All your work is basically just gone to shit essentially.
Yeah, everybody who thinks that they could do a Destiny clone, just make a good single player game. Just do that. Do what Insomniac did.
If you're gonna make a Destiny killer, just at least pay attention to where Destiny fucked up, because they could have easily won this war.
And you know, it's like apparently this is like some brand new shit to some developers. Like, oh, we've heard back. I'm like, yo, we've been saying feedback like this for almost like a decade now. It's like, we want content, we want good story, we want stuff that's actually not predatory of monetization. And apparently it's like a foreign fucking concept for these people to get it right.
Yeah, oh my god, so foreign. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, disappointment aside, man, we're ending on a real somber note right now.
I'm sorry, it's just
yeah, please, hit that motherfucking like button. And subscribe. Alright, yeah, that's all I got. This is IMO Podcast. We're gonna go ahead and sign off. We'll see you guys next week with more juicy, flavorful content.
Alright, peace out, Bramps.
Peace.